Two of our backyard renovation series that we're doing here today. We want to talk about some of the little extras that we did that aren't
Hmm.
usually kind of in our repertoire, but needed to
Yeah.
be added to the project.
Yes. I mean, this is unique architecture to this house. There's, these steps that come from, the front between the garage, and it's very shady,
Mm-hmm.
and they were always mildewy and slippery,
Right.
very unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
So what we actually did earlier in the season is we
Mm-hmm.
pressure washed this and cleaned it really well.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, it was a dry year,
Mm-hmm.
and was able to dry it up really well. And then we put these just simple step grip strips
Nice.
on there. So, and I mean, the client here loves it.
Yeah.
Just finally able to use those steps. So that was one part.
Yeah, and we did a
Yeah.
little work on the deck too. We pressure washed that as well to get that all nice and clean and ready.
Hmm.
And originally there was a screen on this end of the deck.
Yes, I mean the idea originally was to put that, they have that screen fencing there, but it didn't hold up and it fell apart. So we ended up just replacing that, and as it turned out, we ended up having to replace the railing
Mm-hmm.
all the way around the deck. So that's all good and secure now, and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But with the loss of that vertical screen element, we wanted to
Hmm.
make sure that we were putting something back in there to give that privacy back to the space. So there was an additional arborvitae here on the end, so we added a few more to continue that privacy
Hmm.
screen.
So the interesting part of all that is that, between the arborvitae, and we used some hostas in here, which I love to use, but we usually can't use because of the deer issue. But this is in an area where it's not a deer issue at all.
Mm-hmm.
And again, these will be nice when they mature and add a lot of different colors to this backyard. And we use some pulmonaria and actually a fern also, just to give it a little extra touch and texture.
Yeah.
Add the cypress mulch, and we got a nice little planting here.
So we
Yeah.
were able to use some plants that we don't usually get to use, and we were excited to be able to use those, and they'll withstand that kind of part sun, part shade of the space that we're in.
Hmm.
So thank you for joining us. I'm Liz Snyder.
And I'm Jim Hotelling, the home gardeners from Hillside Garden Landscaping.